Cruyff turn your mum and flick it in the bin like Park Ji-sung. Welcome to the Burnie Podcast.
So in today's episode we've got lots to talk about. We've got debuts for the first team, we've got a national save of the week, and we're going to be joined by former Sunderland star and current Clyde FC defender Tommy Robson.
But first, there was no league match for the seniors this weekend. Our 2011s had a week off. What about the 2009s?
We played Glenaffer, Thistle, and we beat them 4-1.
4-1, excellent.
Yeah, just in a friendly match. We had a league game called off because the team were meant to be playing, I won't name and shame them, but they couldn't train all week because the floodlights at the high school were off, so they asked to move the game, which is a bit of a shambles in my opinion, because there's maybe 300 high schools in the greater Edinburgh area that they could have used instead, but
well,
whatever.
But
the friendly game was more competitive anyway, so it was good for the boys.
Oh, excellent. Are Glenaffer a top side, or are they?
I presume so, yes, because it's quite a tough match.
Game.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So although the seniors weren't playing in the league, they did have a friendly against Livingston. Was it the under-20s or
19s?
Under-19s. So that saw the debut of 4 players for the 2009 squad. They stepped up to the plate. Can you tell me more about that, Jared?
It was 1 for the 09s, 3 for the 08s.
Right, okay.
For the 09s it was Killian.
Right.
And then for the 08s it was Josh, Kyle and Sean. That stepped up to make their debuts. I don't really know. Do you know what? I know a wee bit about Josh. I coached his younger brother Sam at Livy Pro Youth, so I know a wee bit about Josh. It's good to see himself step up. It's good to see Killian step up as somebody I've worked with. Don't know too much about the other two, but obviously delighted for them, both of them, to get that opportunity.
It's great to see the whole pathway working out. We had Blair Flood obviously stepping up to the proper first team, and then we've got this now coming up, just giving them a wee tester and seeing how they get on. So it's really good to see.
Definitely.
In other news around the Burnie, the girls under 10 teams got the chance to be ball girls for Celtic ladies at the weekend there. The girls had a great time and looked fantastic in their big Celtic jackets. I know you're not a fan. Is it the kit that's something? Is it the colour or?
It's just the kit. That's it, mate.
It's just the kit.
It's the only reason why I don't like them.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's good that they got that experience though. Like as we're saying, there's been teams going away to tournaments and stuff, now they're getting opportunities like that. So it's good to see. And obviously, I think the under 14 girls as well done a sponsored walk over the Forth Road Bridge. So good for them, definitely. Good for them.
Raise some funds and a bit of team bonding. I know the 2014 Whites as well. They did a colour run, raised over £500. I'm well done, lads, but I'm glad I'm not doing any of that washing.
No, definitely not.
I saw some of the pictures. We'll stick some of them up, but certainly a lot of washing required to get rid of those stains.
Definitely. I actually seen a couple of pictures.
Did you as well?
I seen that.
It looked good fun. Good fun.
The poor parents though, but we've got 2 hot topics that we're going to talk about just coming up. Yes.
Firstly, a reminder for all coaches, both home and away. Anyone using the 3G must be wearing proper footwear. So that's moulded football boots or AstroTurf shoes, no metal studs or flat shoes. I think it's almost £250,000 of investment. We kind of want to look after it for the community as best we can.
Definitely. Another one as well, don't drag the goals across the park. They need to be lifted up.
Yes.
But
most of them have wheels now. I think there's only a couple
tiny ones. But second one, please get
parking
better with the car parking.
Yeah.
Ignore how there is a spelling mistake on the sign. I think it says, what does it say again?
Accessible or something like that. It's not quite accessible.
No, it's like no access, but it's meant to say no access or something.
Yeah.
But the main car park outside the club should be used by players and officials only.
Yep.
No parents.
And some positive news for the podcast. We've got a new supporter on board. We now have the John Clark Motor Group as an official supporter of the podcast, offering great deals on thousands of new cars across Scotland. Hot foot it down today to drive away in your next car. So in this episode and the last, you'll have also noticed a little ticker going along the bottom of the screen. So along with this week's upcoming fixtures, our supporters will get a mention, and if you want to get a birthday message or any kind of sponsorships or anything that you find relevant, then do get in touch and we'll put all those details along the ticker along the bottom.
Yeah, please get in touch because we've had, I say it every week, but we've had very little goal submissions and things like that. So definitely keep being in touch with us. But this week we're going to put up a save of the week instead.
Save of the week, yes.
This is Alex Shaw from the 2011 Whites with this cracking save, and I'm sure did it not get a mention on the Scottish Youth FA Instagram page?
Yep, it was Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yeah. So they nominated it for their save of the week.
Brilliant. Well,
so national recognition for Big Alex. That's brilliant to see. But we'll put up that video just now. Welcome back to the Burnie Podcast. Today we're joined by Clyde FC's left back and former Sunderland man, Tommy Robson. Tommy, great to have you on. Welcome
Thanks
to the
for
show.
having me on, yeah. No, it's good to have you on. So let's go all the way back because obviously your journey's quite a fascinating one.
Yes, let's start right back at the beginning. Where did football first grab you, and do you remember your first club or inspiration?
When I was younger, we had just a local boys club called Beamish, and I started playing there when I was 6. Played all the way through till I was around 12, where I got scouted to go into a club called Darlington. Went into there about under 12s, and I was there until under 16, so for 4 years. Then from there, Darlington went bust. I don't know the logistics of it. Or
I didn't know that actually.
But yeah, so at the point, I think it was under 15s, 16s. There was Sunderland and Newcastle were both interested in taking me over, and they were going to have to pay money. But it got to the point where I actually walked away and went for nothing because the club died. They went. So then my coach at Darlington went into Sunderland, so I followed him into there, and that's how that came about, and I ended up in Sunderland, yeah.
And what team do you support?
Newcastle.
But obviously you came up through the Darlington youth setup before joining Sunderland. So how big of a step up was that, and what was the change in the culture and the sort of professionalism?
From Darlington to Sunderland?
Yeah.
Well, when I was at Darlington, I was playing up to under 18s from under 16s for the last year I was there, so I felt like I had a step ahead when I was going into Sunderland, so I was going back into boys that were my age, yeah. So I felt like I had that advantage. In terms of professionalism and the actual academy and the pitches, a million miles away from each other. Sunderland's academy was one of the best in England. It was unbelievable. And then now you've got all the new ones like Tottenham, and Leicester's got a new one, but Sunderland's is one of the best.
No, good.
So was there a moment at Sunderland, when did you finally, did it click and you thought, I can make this as a full-time job as a pro here?
So my first year when I was in at Sunderland, I actually played in the 10 or left midfield. And then after my first year, the managers changed over, and the manager that had come in wanted me to go to left back. So I think I played there for about 3-4 weeks, and I actually started to really enjoy it. I got more time on the ball. I was getting the ball more because I was obviously coming from the back and going forward. And then I just kicked on from there and I started doing well. And it was actually towards the back end of my scholarship at Sunderland, they got told they weren't going to offer me anything. So I thought it was quite done in them terms. And then Fulham offered me a 3-year contract to pro, and I'd went in and said, can I leave early and go down to Fulham? There's no point in me being here, I'm not going to be here. And they turned around and went, we're going to offer you something now. So, but that would have meant that Fulham would have had to paid money for me because you've got the compensation fees and what have you. So I ended up staying at Sunderland, which was lucky really, because I don't know what would have happened if I ended up going somewhere else, and then I ended up obviously breaking through and playing. So yeah, it's really good.
Well, obviously every player's got bumps along the road in their journey. And what did you have? Did you have any injury setbacks, confidence dips, or?
I was really lucky, to be honest. Even to this day, touch wood, I've never really had any bad injuries, so nothing along that form of things. But I think I really struggled from especially the age of 18 onwards with getting dropped. Let's say I would take it really badly, to now be completely different. I wish I knew that back then, because it would be a different story. I just couldn't take certain situations well, which I think did hinder me pushing on. But yeah, that would be the one thing I would say.
So you said that you signed your first professional deal kind of with Sunderland. Can you remember the feeling like? Did you have to like physically sign that contract? Can you remember that feeling?
Yeah,
like?
It was unbelievable. But even that for the scholarship, you done the same, and it was always with the first team manager. Yeah, so it was really good. Brilliant. When I first signed, it was Martin O'Neill that was manager. So sat down with Martin O'Neill and signed the contract. It was brilliant. I can't remember who the manager was when I first signed me pro. I think it was Gus Poyet.
Yep.
But in the space of me, I think I was at Sunderland for 5 years and I had 6 managers. So,
so you forget a lot. Aye. Yeah, and obviously, like comes to 2016, you get your Premier League debut, which only a handful of players get that chance, and
literally a handful of players. Yeah.
And like talk us through that full day and what was it like stepping onto the pitch, and like did you know you were going to get on?
How nervous were you?
Oh, really nervous. I actually found out on the Wednesday that I was. So we played against Everton, and if we won, we stayed up. And then after the game, I got told off Sam Allardyce that I was going to be playing on the Sunday. So I obviously had that time to digest it a bit, and then we flew down to London on the Saturday, and in the hotel that's when it hit. And the club doctor actually said, I can give you something to calm the nerves, it'll help you sleep and stuff. And I thought, I don't want to take anything in case it actually affects my game, so I just left it. But yes, I'd say I was nervous up until kick-off. As soon as the game started, that was it, I was just in. But all the way up to kick-off, I was nervous. That
was brilliant, mate, brilliant.
That's really good. So is there any lessons that you kind of learnt from that kind of initial Premier League experience that you still kind of use to this day?
I would say the better the player you play against, you need to learn what you can and can't do. So when I was in the academy growing up, everything was sort of trial and error, especially down south from what the academies were like. So if I was to do the wrong thing, it's okay. As soon as you hit that men's first team football, it's different. You make a mistake, it costs the team a goal. That's the difference from you being on the bench and you not, or you even being in the squad and you're not. So that's the one thing you've got to learn. You've got to make the right decisions at the right times and what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But obviously moving on a wee bit, you went into the Irish League to go and play for Limerick. And what was that like in terms of their football culture? Would you play there again, or was that a place you maybe avoid now? Or?
When I first went over there, it was a place that was just starting to go on the up. I think right now it's probably the best it's ever been. I think it's really thriving. I think they've got the extra places in the Europe and the Conference League as well. So I think there's only a league of, it's similar to Scotland where there's a league of 12 and 4 spots are up the grabs for Europe and your Champions League. So that money gets distributed and the standard's really high now. When I went over there, the club I went to was relatively new. So they were just starting up and getting going. They're not going now either. Limerick's not a club either. So that's the second club I've been at.
It's disappeared. Yeah. So you kind of made the move north after that. Was it Falkirk you joined?
I joined Falkirk, yeah. What
drew you to Scotland? Why did you wanted to do that? And how did you find adapting to the Scottish game?
So to get me up here to start with, I was out of favour at Sunderland. I wasn't playing for the reserves. I hadn't played football for a long time. I think it was over about 6 months. I never played a game. So I had to get out, and I was looking for a loan originally. And then my agent came to me and just said, Falkirk have come, they'll offer you a 2-year contract. Do you want to go up there? And I'm not going to lie, at the start I was like, I don't think I do. But I didn't even know much I knew about Rangers and Celtic.
And that was it,
yeah. So went with it. It was a bit of a gamble for me, but I've not looked back since. I've loved my time since I've been up here, so it was a good starter.
And you've not lost your accent either.
No.
I was half expecting a Scottish accent coming.
I was actually in Aldi today, and I said thanks to a woman. She said I was from Newcastle, and I says, yeah, so I've been up here for 9 years, and she said the exact same thing to me. I think.
That was brilliant. And when you were at Falkirk, do you think you sort of hit the ground running, or did it take a wee bit of time to adapt and settle in?
I scored it was me. So we played Dunfermline away, which is the big derby. We got beat 2-0, and that was the eye opener for me. I was going, what have
you got yourself into?
Yeah. And then we played Dundee United second game. So I signed in the January, so it was whatever game they were on, but the second game for me at home, and we won 6-1. I scored, and that was my first professional goal as well. So from there onwards, it was the kick on for me, and I really enjoyed that 6 month. The second year Falkirk wasn't the best, but that 6 month period, I think we were sitting, I think it was like 12 points bottom adrift when I signed in the January, and we finished 6th or 7th, so we'd pushed on from there. So, but it was
Tommy
really
Robson effect.
There was a few of us that signed, to be fair. I think there was about 5 boys from down south that moved up. So we built a good team.
Definitely, that's good.
Good. So obviously you went and had that second kind of not so good year at Falkirk. And did you go to Partick Thistle?
Yeah.
And then Queen's Park?
Yeah, so the following year I went to Partick Thistle. It was Stephen Caldwell was the manager.
Yep.
No, Gary Caldwell.
Gary Caldwell.
Both of them played for Newcastle. One played for Newcastle. I signed under him, and I think he got sacked after 2 months. So I've not had a great record with managers over the past. And then Ian McCall came in, and then that was the year that COVID hit, and the season got stopped. So that was a bit controversial because we were actually on a good run towards the end of that year, and it stopped, and then just left it how it was, and we got relegated. But we still had like 4 games in hand over the team above us. So we would have stayed up that year. We ended up getting relegated because of that.
Shoot, that's not so good.
Aye.
Wow. Well, obviously, you know, as well, you're part of a Queen's Park side that got back-to-back promotions. So, what was it like being in that dressing room? And you know, was there that sort of belief there for day one that you could do that?
Aye. So it was Queen's Park's first year at going full time when I'd signed and turning professional, and they literally made the full squad was brand new. So when everyone was signing, it's one of them where you can sometimes sign too many players and it can affect. But we had a really good squad for that year in League Two, and I think it wouldn't have been great if we didn't win the league, to be honest, that year, because we were miles above everyone squad wise. But we kept that same squad the following year, and that following year, even though we got promoted, isn't as glamorous as it seems. I think we drew 22 games. We finished 4th, and then we beat Dunfermline and then beat Airdrie in the final to go up. But in context of things, I think Airdrie, who we played in the final, finished 20 points above us. I finished second, and then we've ended up going up.
And what team did you play for the championship?
Dunfermline.
Oh, was it from Dunfermline? Right.
Yeah, we drew 0-0 in the first leg and then beat them 1-0. Simon Murray scored in the last minute in the second leg. And that year alone, even though it wasn't the best, was one of my best seasons at Queen's Park.
What were the games like themselves? Because obviously, you know, you play for Queen's Park at Hampden, so it's kind of like an empty sort of stadium, but you're in such like a ferocious run of games. So was the atmosphere a bit like weird? Was it mixed?
But Queen's Park haven't got a massive following as it is anyway. So I would say definitely towards the back end when we were in the championship and you were playing your Partick Thistles and stuff, and they were bringing 2,000 fans. And we had less than that, so it was kind of like an advantage to
the away team,
that were coming, and we did feel that at times. But we only played my last year at Hampden. The year before that we played at Stenhousemuir. The year before that we played at Partick Thistle, and the year before that we played at Falkirk. So when I was at Queen's Park, we had 4 different stadiums over the entire time I was
You're just going back to the teams you used to play for, really.
Yeah.
So is there any particular games for that kind of period that still gives you goosebumps to think about?
In a good or a bad way, or either?
Or either, yeah.
So it was the last game of the season in the championship for Queen's Park, and whoever won between us and Dundee got promoted to the Premier League. And I think we were winning 3-2 in the first half, and the game ended finishing 5-3. We got beat. But that game alone just knocks me sick every time I think about it. It's what could have been. So that's the biggest one for me, that sticks. And even though I've been up here for a long time, there's one game that'll stick, good or bad, and it's always the bad one. Yeah. It's that one that sticks for me. Yes. I don't think that'll ever go away.
Because as well, you could have got minutes in the Premier League.
Yeah, we were literally 45 minutes away from being promoted, and we had a great season as well that season. Like, we were probably punching above our weight at times as well, but we had Simon Murray, who was flying, scoring goals. He was a top goal scorer in the league, and the club sold him for pennies in January. And that's the one thing that also sticks in the back of my throat, where I think
if they hadn't sold him, then
they'd have made more money from going up. They wouldn't have had to do it, and that to this day still just doesn't sit right with me, and that's one of the biggest things.
And was that a contributing factor for you moving on, do you think?
No, I think because there was a lot of changes in the club, there was a lot of changes in the board, director of football, managers were changing constantly. At some point, it was always going to stick where a manager comes in,
and it just doesn't work.
And it just wasn't right for both. Even if I stuck around, I don't think I'd have enjoyed it. I don't think I would have wanted to be there, so it wouldn't have been right either way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, moving on a wee bit, just some more questions about your style and your identity. Obviously, you're known for your energy down the left hand side. Sort of bombing forward as either full back or wing back. But how would you describe your play style, like in your own words?
Energetic, like you've said. I like to get up and down. More so back in the day. It's getting less and less as the older I'm getting. But yeah, I like to defend 1v1 as well. That's one of the things that I do like doing. But I would just say crossing. I'd say over the past 3 years I built in where I've always played with the similar wingers that they'll come inside and I'll go outside, but now I'm finding it there's a lot more left footers coming into the game now as well, where they'll go out and I like to go straight through the middle and that's where I've been finding myself in opportunities to score goals. So
like the goal you got the other week.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good stuff. So on the flip side, defenders are usually they're often judged by their reactions to their mistakes. How do you mentally bounce back from when something doesn't go well on the pitch, like letting a goal in?
Yeah. Like I'll go back to what I said earlier. When I was younger and I made a mistake, it would stick with you. Yeah, I'm a lot better at now. Where if I make a mistake, it's gone like that. I can get over it. But yeah, that for me, it's just I just blank it out now. That's it, and I can move on. Back in the day, I don't know how I come from changing from that to this. I'm guessing by just learning from how long it actually affected me. Yeah. But yeah, now it's like that. I can forget it like it's nothing.
No, that's good. Right. And have you got any like match day rituals or pre-game habits that help you get ready for the match?
Not so much boots, but my shin pads. I've always got to put both my shin pads on with a wrap around, and then a left sock, right sock.
Yeah. And what about food wise?
Food's not too bad. It's mostly if I win, I get a Chinese afterwards.
Quality, mate.
Well, we need to cut that out. Can't have a Chinese football matches. So fast forward to now, you joined Clyde in July 24.
Yeah.
So what made Clyde the right move for you?
I'd worked under Ian McCall before. I knew him. He was obviously said that they were going to be building a good squad to push on and sort of replicate what happened at Queen's Park. So that was a big interest to me. Like for me, over my career, my favourite moments were that 3-4 years at Queen's Park. So I thought there's a chance
of reliving that kind of.
Last year never went to plan. It was there, like the way we were playing at times was there, but I think you've got to get, especially in League 2 and League 1 now, you've got to get the right balance in your squad. You can go and sign players that played at certain levels, but if the balance isn't right, and that's how I felt last year was. But this year I think it's completely different. I think we've got that balance right. We didn't start the league great, but now, as you've seen, I think it's 8 or 9 games we're on an unbeaten run now. So you can feel it. Like I can feel it from the times when I've been there and we've done that. I can feel that. That's the same
energy that's kicking about. Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. And like when you got to Clyde, like was there any goals that you set, like personal level and also team level? Like what were you thinking?
For me, I never really set personal goals. It's always for obviously the team on what the team can achieve, and mine was obviously to get promoted. Mine was to win the league. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think we took a step back this year and went, look, we need to be realistic from what happened last year. Like getting promoted would be great, but I've still got that in my head now. Like I want to win that league.
You want to win that league, yeah.
I don't see a point in us being there unless we're pushing to win the league. Obviously, if it comes mathematically possible, we can't. Your next step is can we get promoted through the playoffs? But we've got to be pushing to win that league no matter what.
Yeah, definitely.
You said that before. You aim for the stars and you've only got the moon. You've at least reached something. Right?
Yeah, no, I always say that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you've said that it is kind of about that squad vibe, having that right balance. Is it a mix of youth and experience, or do you think youth plays a bigger part in the lower clubs, or do you think somebody like yourself with the experience kind of guides them, and it's more the experience in these kind of clubs?
I'd say you definitely need experience in there. We've got 3 or 4 older heads that's good to have around, but then we've got a lot of youth. We've got a few players in there now that could play at a way higher level than they're playing, that are younger boys that are really doing well. And if they can consistently do that, then we've got a real chance at winning the league.
Superb. Good.
That's brilliant. And obviously you've been there now since July 24, so you're pushing on, 14, 15 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that time, what's been your proudest moment in a Clyde shirt?
Oh, you've got me thinking now, because last year wasn't one to even think about, and this season's been so short. But last season we beat Partick Thistle in, I can't remember what the cup was called last year. I think it's changed this year. Was it the
Trust Trophy?
No, is it the one at the start where it's 4 teams in a group?
Yeah,
Is it the Betfred Cup?
Yeah, the League Cup.
We beat Partick Thistle in that, who were 2 leagues above us, which is obviously a big achievement. But I think just the actual full season shadows how well we done in that.
How did it feel beating your old club? Was there any familiar faces that you kind of seen and things like that, or was it just completely not?
Oh, it's completely changed now, but it was still nice because I got a bit of stick from the Partick Thistle fans when I was there as well, so it's always nice to go back and
turn it back on them.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So you've had quite the journey already. What's been the biggest challenge in your career so far? Or is your current challenge of being a kids football coach with Jared your biggest challenge to date?
Yeah, exactly that.
It's been a hard week, I tell you. It's been a very hard week for us.
But no, do you enjoy the football coaching?
I really enjoy it, yeah. So I told Jared when I first come in, I was doing scouting stuff last season, and I don't think I was getting enough from it personally. I was doing it for quite a bit, maybe 3-4 games a week, but I just wasn't getting out of it what I wanted to get out of it. And then since I've been in doing the coaching, I've loved every minute of it. I really have. Just getting out, I was getting up to do games, and I was going to watch a game, and I was dragging myself to do it, and I'm watching the game and filling stuff out, but I come into the coaching and I'm actually buzzing to come in and do the sessions, and I leave and I'm happy with the sessions.
I've forced them to say that.
No, but you'll notice that effect on the kids as well. If you're enjoying it, they're bound to be enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent.
What would you say to your younger self starting back out at either Darlington and Sunderland?
It would just go back to, again, mistakes and things that don't go your way, learning to deal with it better. But the one thing I'll say on that is I feel like I've learned from putting myself in them positions and the way I've been. I've learned from it over the years. But if I could have learned in a different way, or I could have changed that, I think I could have done it earlier and I could have still been pushing. Yeah,
and how do you think English football compares to Scottish football?
What league are you talking?
Let's say championship to, don't know, I can't say your Premier League debut, that's not fair, but maybe like a game with under 21s compared to the championship.
21s football, I've always had the opinion of where I go back, it's trial and error. So for me, some teams took it serious. When I was at Sunderland, at times we did take it serious for the reserves in my final year. But if you made a mistake, it wasn't a massive problem. Like I said, it was. So I don't think you can compare that. But the quality of the training grounds down there, for example, for a majority, even the championship clubs, the majority of them are unbelievable. And I think some of the training grounds up here aren't great. A lot's AstroTurf, which for me is you can't go train on an Astro then go and play on the grass and have that same consistency. But yeah, I think it's hard. It's hard to actually.
It's just money, really.
Money's the big one as well.
Yeah, because clubs like Livingston and that stay afloat for just being able to train on the Astro in the stadium because they don't need to pay for the maintenance. So it's probably just as money. Then.
I would say money. Money is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You don't find the Scottish a lot more aggressive up here? Are the games a bit more physical?
I would say they are, and it's more longer ball. But then I went to a game a couple of years ago, League Two. I think it was Barrow and somewhere, and it was the exact same. And I mean the exact. And I wasn't expecting it. I thought it would be, but it is. It's all long balls. Certain teams all play that now. But Championship here's trying to change it where you're playing from the back and stuff now all the time. So there's a lot of things changing.
Yeah, well, good. So is I think you've said this before, but is there any other advice that you've kind of carried with you, maybe from a coach or a teammate, that's kind of shaped how you think about football or the game?
I remember when it was under 15s when I was at Darlington. I can't remember what the coach was called now. I'm rubbish for names anyway. Yeah. He said to me, there's times when I come in for training sessions, I'm not always the best technically. He said, but I'm always the best trainer no matter what, and the reason for that is because I don't stop running, don't stop working hard. I do all of the horrible side of the game when I was in training, and done it. And he said, if I do that forever and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, he said, I'll go and make it in the game. And that's the one thing that stuck with me from when I was younger, because no matter how a training session was going, I would just run. It might be pointless running at times, but I would just do it to try and get something out of the session. So I think that's the one thing that I would take as advice-wise that I've been given.
That's a good piece of advice, and it's one that I think definitely works. You have to put the effort in, but I like that, doing the ugly things well, and the good stuff will take care of itself.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, looking ahead, where do you see yourself in the next few years? More playing, more coaching, or do you think something completely different?
I'd like to think I'm still going to be playing. I'm going to try and play obviously as long as I can, but the coaching that I'm obviously doing now is going to help me go forward. I still don't know 100% what I want to do when I finish playing, but at this moment in time, the coaching's the one thing that I've really enjoyed doing. So I think I'll just take it obviously step by step and see where I end up by.
Cool. Have you got any interesting kind of stories or kind of tales from?
Probably not ones that I could say.
All right, we'll finish with a couple of quick questions then. Toughest opponent you've ever faced on a one-on-one?
Like in terms of right winger, me, so one of them against, so either Regalo or Adnan Januzaj.
All right.
That's a great answer. That's good.
I like that one, yeah.
And what about the funniest teammate you ever had?
Michael Doyle.
Who was that with?
I was with him at Queen's Park.
Queen's Park,
right.
Okay. Favourite stadium you've played in?
Old Trafford.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about the best player you've played with?
I can't remember who I said on the thing. Remember when we did it? I can't remember who I said.
JD.
It will be Jermaine Defoe. I played with a guy called Wabi Kazri at Sunderland, and he was unbelievable. Like he never. I don't know why he didn't
blow up,
have a better career before, because I can't remember how old he was, but he was unbelievable. Really was.
VAR, bin it or keep it?
Bin it.
Newcastle win the Champions League or England win the World Cup?
England win the World Cup.
3G or grass?
Grass.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Android or Apple?
Apple.
Ice cream or chocolate?
Oh, neither.
You're a footballer.
That's
neither, because I don't
like either of them?
Not I don't like them, I just never... if there was a treat there, I would rather get a bag of crisps rather than a chocolate.
Fair enough. And if football wasn't the path, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Because I've been doing it since that young, I really don't know.
There's nothing in school like you got grades for?
When I was at school for my last year, before my exams started and then through my exams, I was in at Darlington full time, so I was like, I just went back for my exams. I was already had in my head that I was going into that.
Yeah.
Right, regardless.
Yeah.
You were going to do that.
What about one season with Newcastle or 10 with Sunderland?
10 with Sunderland.
Fair enough.
I'm not daft.
That's something we spoke about, to be fair. Like, see the whole Rangers Celtic thing. Like, if you're a Rangers fan, would you go and play for Celtic?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're like, no. But like down there, they're switched on. Switched on.
I think if push comes to shove, I think you would make the right decision. I don't think you would. I think you'd be using your head. You wouldn't be using your heart. Deep down.
It's a cultural thing up here, I think.
Yeah.
Well, talking about comparisons then, English food or Scottish food?
What's Scottish food though? What?
Haggis.
Haggis.
I like haggis.
Yeah.
I like haggis. Yeah.
Deep frying anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have deep fried stuff. To be fair, see, if I've had a night out and you go to the chippy on the way home, I'd had one of them deep fried pizzas and what have you after a night out, but I wouldn't openly go get one for the week.
Yeah.
Iron Brew or?
I like Iron Brew.
You like Iron Brew?
Aye.
Yeah. What's your maybe you don't get it so much anymore, but what's your favourite pre-season destination?
Where have I been? Austria was good. We went one year we stayed in between. It was like in the Alps, so it was in between Switzerland and France. So we played a game in France, a game in Switzerland, and then we went over to Austria and played a game because it wasn't too far on the borders. That was because we'd done all three, but Switzerland was amazing as well. Switzerland was good.
That was really good.
What do you do to relax outside of football?
Watch telly, to be honest. It's not really... Because I find myself now, I'm up, I watch a bit of telly, then I go and do the coaching. and then week training at night time. So Tuesday, Thursday I'm training, and then game. So mine's mainly a Sunday, and I'll watch the football on the Sunday. I just hate when international's on.
Yeah.
It just spoils the whole thing.
And what do you think is like more ferocious, like English rivalry or Scottish rivalry, like in terms of like two clubs, like, you know, you got Old Firm, Newcastle,
Like,
Sunderland, like.
don't take me saying that I'll play for Sunderland as if that's what, because I'm telling you, there's so many people I know that would say the same thing that you are saying. I'm just.
Yeah, no, I do get it, because me mum's Fijaro.
It's okay.
So, and I do know that, you know, the divide across, above the water and below the water, there is that kind of rivalry.
Yeah, even just in terms of so like Falkirk, Dunfermline, like I bet you didn't know that was a thing. Whereas like everyone knows fine well Birmingham Villa's a sort of things. What do you think like the rivalries are like? Do you know what I mean?
The rivals were good up here. Like I played in a few of the Dunfermline Falkirk games, and they were always sold out, and it was really really good. It was good to play in. But then obviously I played in Queen's Park and Partick Thistle, who was meant to be a derby, but it didn't, to be honest, feel like one.
Did you get the fake Glasgow derby if you ever played Rangers or Celtic with one of the Partick or Queen's Park teams?
I played Partick Thistle and Celtic, and we got beat 6-0. Got beat 2-1 off Rangers, and then when I was at Falkirk, got beat 4-1 off Rangers. In fact, I got beat off Celtic at Celtic Park twice, 6-0 both times in the same season.
Brutal, brutal big man.
Wasn't great.
No, not at all. But no, listen, mate, that's been brilliant. Good hearing your story. From the Premier League all the way down to Clyde, there's definitely been some unique stuff in there. So it's good to have you on, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. Thanks for joining us on the Burnie Podcast. Good luck for the rest of the season with Clyde.
Oh, thanks very much. Thank you for having me.
No, it's all good. And to everyone who was listening, please remember to like and share and follow the podcast. We've got new social media pages, so it'd be appreciated. And we can get more chats with Scottish footballs / English football's finest.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. We'll see you all next week.